Aloha, Monroe Murdoch, broker owner of Love Hawaii Realty and Love Hawaii Villas, with today's Hawaii travel, tourism, and vacation planning update. We create these videos so that Hawaii travelers can be informed and have the information needed to plan for future travel to Hawaii. If you find these updates helpful, then please be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons below and share these videos on your social media platforms. Also, be sure to access the link in the description, as we will have reference links to all of the articles and any other news media sources that we reference in these videos. You can always reference the latest news, and you can see videos from previous days as well. First, let's talk about COVID-19 case counts in Hawaii. 3 new cases were reported on May 28th, all on the island of Oahu. Statewide total since day one is 647 cases, with 604 people having been released from isolation, leaving only 26 known active cases in Hawaii at the moment. More than 50,000 people in Hawaii have been tested, and Hawaii has some of the lowest case counts in the entire country. Next, visitor travel restrictions. The 14-day mandatory quarantine for all visitors and returning residents flying into Hawaii remains in effect through June 30th, 2020. And in breaking news today, Governor Ige indicated that the 14-day quarantine will extend beyond that date, at least for mainland and international travelers. And this is discouraging news, and I'll talk about that more shortly. Keep in mind that the 14-day quarantine requirements are very strict, and that Hawaii officials are doing their very best to monitor those who are subject to it. And our recommendation is to not travel to Hawaii and hassle with the quarantine unless you absolutely have to. One of the big questions is, when will quarantine be lifted? At this point, we really don't know for sure. There is yet to be any clear communication or indication as to when we could expect the 14-day mandatory quarantine to be lifted. Another question is, what is the current state of things here in Hawaii? Many businesses are finally opening up. Some businesses have already been open. That's the big thing coming down the line here this week and also into June 1st. Many more businesses opening up, which you can learn more about in my other videos. The majority of people are wearing masks when going to stores, when picking up food, when doing face-to-face business interactions. When people are at the beach or the park or exercising or walking around, typically not wearing masks. Some people do, but anytime you can easily social distance out in public, people tend to not really worry about wearing a mask. When will inter-island travel open back up? Again, not sure, but hopefully soon. It is an important first step that Hawaii needs to take, and we are ready for this to happen now. There's really no reason why this shouldn't have already been done. So today's big news updates, one of the big stories, and really the main story for today, I feel like, is Governor Ige indicating that his intention to extend the 14-day quarantine orders, at least for mainland and international travelers, into July. And the problem with this update, like many others he has made, is that it's void of many of the details or timelines. You would think that if an elected official is going to go through the work necessary to update people about the extension of the quarantine, that he would also choose to share some good news about other plans or specific things that they're doing to help move things forward, or that they hope to do soon to get Hawaii back to work again. But no, nothing else, just notice of an extended quarantine with no other insight, no other information, no deadline, no other details. This kind of communication, or really lack thereof, is what we've been facing here in Hawaii from day one of this global pandemic. And the people of Hawaii, not everyone, but many people in Hawaii are getting fed up with this nonsense. I know I am personally, as a small business owner, as someone who relies heavily upon tourism, not just for myself, but for the 15 employees we have in our business. And it's really getting tiresome. And the nonsense that's going on right now really reflects in the ratings for Governor Ige. During a recent poll, he was found to be really not rated so well and not favored very well by many of the people who were polled. So I'm putting a separate video out called The Sinking Ship Analogy, and kind of likening that to why Hawaii can be likened to a sinking ship and what I mean by that. So watch out for that. I mean, I'm not all gloom and doom, but at the same time, I think this analogy can apply to our situation. So suffice it to say that if Hawaii were a strong, seaworthy vessel and it ran aground unexpectedly and started to take on water, the captain's inability and or unwillingness to address the key threats to the ship's safety and longevity, the damaged hull where water is coming in, is like Hawaii bleeding out by the closure of businesses and the shutdown of the tourism economy, with no apparent focus or effort on remedying that anytime soon. The ship is taking on water so fast it's hard to know how much longer it would take before the ship sinks. So unless the captain of the ship, hence the governor, is willing to address all the holes in it and that are filling the ship full of water, the ship and many of its passengers will go down with it. The big question is, will the captain also go down with the ship, or will he be on the first life raft he can get his hands on and leave everyone else to fend for themselves? Kind of a crazy analogy, but at the same time, I can't help but feel like this isn't the truth for Hawaii. You know, the tourism aspect of our economy is such a huge part of it, and it's like those holes in the ship and water is just gushing in, and we're just suffering so badly from the lack of tourism. Those small businesses and 2/3 of our economy practically here, and the jobs lost, and yet nothing is being said about it, nothing is being done about it, no plan has been put out by the governor about it. It really is unacceptable when you look at it from that standpoint. This is the lifeblood of our economy, and after 2 to coming on 3 months, they don't even have a game plan for how it's going to get done, and it's unacceptable. All right, get off the soapbox a little bit, but really this has relevance in Hawaii today, it does, and I think the important thing for us to realize is that our officials do play a critical role at this time in what's happening in our different markets, whether we're here in Hawaii, whether you're in the mainland, whether you're overseas, and we all experience the frustration and the pain right now of what's going on. What can be very difficult is when we feel like things outside of our power and control are not being handled properly or effectively or efficiently, and when government officials, like here in Hawaii, are largely out of touch with reality. They haven't taken a cut in pay. They haven't laid off anyone. They haven't done anything to really address the root causes and issues. They have major budget shortfalls and are not taking that seriously, even though it has a huge and dramatic impact on the taxpayer dollars here in Hawaii. So is the future of Hawaii bleak and grim and no hope in sight? No, not at all. It's just in our current situation, it's frustrating. Many people want to come here but can't. The quarantine is a huge deterrent to travel and tourism. And I think if there was plans, if there was a game plan, if there was a target, if there was a date, it would be a different story, but there's not. And it seems that no matter what angle we come out with it, you know, or what people say or what people do or anyone's opinions, the governor cannot seem to get a game plan together or to communicate anything. And if they do have a plan, they really suck at communicating it. So this is one of those videos where I just vent. It's a Friday. Maybe my Friday videos will be a venting video. Suffice it to say, though, that Hawaii is an amazing destination. It's one of the safest places that you can travel in the world. The airlines are getting it together, so you can feel safer to fly now with all the precautions the airlines are doing. So all that we can hope for now is that our governor and the leadership in Hawaii will start to put a legitimate game plan together and start communicating that plan to everyone so that they can know how they can get back to Hawaii. Because the track they're on right now, it's pretty disappointing. And our summer season is pretty much gone. You know, school typically starts up in the fall. Fall season is slow. They're really slaughtering the local economy in a big way, and they're bleeding out. It's really that severe. And we're going to see the implications of that, and it will affect many businesses. Many businesses will not survive this crisis. We've mitigated the risk as much as we can. Our business will survive this crisis, but it's sad that many won't. And so I appreciate you watching these videos, listening to me vent. I'll try not to do that too often, but I just want to share some of that pain. I mean, this is our real day-to-day pain and struggle that we have. We're on an island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Not just one island, but multiple. I'm here on one island, but the Hawaiian Islands consist of all these popular destinations, and no one can come here until they can figure out a game plan to do it. And they don't seem to have the connection in their minds to realize how critically important it is for the future of Hawaii, for the health of our economy, and for the health and the future of the tourism in Hawaii, which is a huge aspect of the success of our economy as a state to get this going again. So I really hope that, you know, we're just hoping. We hope, we write letters, we do what we can, we put the information out there, but we're largely at the mercy of the powers that be. And so hopefully things will change. Hopefully the month of June can lead into some good plans for July, and the quarantines can be lifted sooner rather than later. So again, thank you for watching these videos. Sorry to be rambling on today. Hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. We'll do our best to update everyone on other updates as they happen with the news. Again, be sure to like and subscribe. If you find this stuff helpful, feel free to share it, and we will bring more updates to you as soon as we have them.